Hey everybody, Drew here from Pella Cars. Super excited to bring you guys this beautiful 1998 Toyota Corolla all the way from Virginia. It is the CE model with only 109,738 miles on it, all of which were put on by one very loving owner. We'll go into detail on why that's apparent as we walk around the vehicle. I just want to point out to you guys any flaws it does have. It has some little cosmetic flaws, just so there's no surprises when you come to test drive it. Also, we ship a lot of cars. We ship cars all over the United States and sometimes all over the world, and we just don't want there to be any surprises when the car arrives if you do buy it online. So just a quick note, the Pella Cars family is perhaps way too enthusiastic about 1990s Japanese cars, to the point that we import a dozen or a dozen and a half per year from Japan, where it's common to find, low mileage one owner cars that aren't rusty. This is extremely rare in the United States to find something like this. So we're just honored to have it with the steering wheel on the correct side instead of over here. But anyways, up front we got a stone chip there and just some stone chips, and believe it or not, like that, that's bird poop that was just never cleaned off. This car, actually, not to get too far ahead here, but if you look at the trim underneath and around the windows, it's a little bit peeled. Strange, Toyota made them out of chrome but then covered them in black. That's just a Toyota thing. I believe Honda did the same thing. A lot of brands did the same thing, but this side, none of it's peeled. So it's quite obvious that this car sat, with the most angry son of the day on this side, whichever way that faces in their driveway, I couldn't tell you, but it's clear it was parked in the same spot because of that, and it obviously did a decent amount of sitting at its age, almost 27 years old. With only 109,000 miles, but moving along, little scuff in the bumper there. Now here's some evidence that this car was absolutely adored by its previous owner. These are General Altimax RT43 tires. I personally drove my daily driver for years, ran these tires in my wife's old Honda Odyssey that we just got rid of a few months ago. We ran several sets of these. These are an awesome tire. They're substantially less money than Michelin, which is no longer available in this size. It stands possible that this is the most expensive tire you could even get anymore in this tiny size. The fact that they opted for these instead of the $35 tires that you could get for this car just goes along with the fact that it's got Toyota windshield wiper blades. Its last oil change was done at a Toyota dealership, and even its battery is a genuine Toyota battery. So this customer absolutely loved this car. I mean, they maintained it with an open checkbook for almost 27 years. It just really speaks volumes to the quality of this particular sample. So if you are watching this from Rochester, New York, you're used to seeing these cars with no rocker panels or wheel wells. This one, as you see, they get like 5 inches of snow where this car's from. And they don't salt, and it's sunny and beautiful most of the winter, unlike, lovely Rochester, New York. Anyways, so no rust, as you could see. There is this little scrape here. They rubbed against something here, which is a shame, but this isn't quite a museum piece. I mean, I actually feel kind of guilty for bringing this car from its southern home up here where it's just going to get driven in the salt. You can, and our family personally does, have the car oil coated underneath and inside the doors and stuff so it doesn't rust nearly as fast, and I could tell you where our family goes if you would like. This car, if it's your thing to collect old Toyotas, this is, with a little bit of elbow grease, collectible grade. Just the fact that it doesn't have rust, but it does have little things like this, little scratches and things. The paint isn't particularly shiny. Not sure that you want to take a Corolla to car shows, but if you were going to and you needed to buy it in Rochester, this is the one because, again, not rusty. Little scuffs. It's amazing, though, to think. At one point, people were sick of the 55 Chevy, when that was a 15-year-old car and dirt cheap, but now it's collectible. I don't know where Corollas like this will be in people's hearts in another 20 years, but look at that. Just absolutely incredible. It still has the markings from the manufacturer underneath it. Just incredible. Try to get you another shot when we get closer to, brake lines and things like that. So just a little scuff on the back bumper there. This, I think, is mud. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. This is probably the biggest shame. Now, somebody that really cares could peel this the rest of the way off and use flat black vinyl. You know, like the same vinyl that our little Pella Cars sticker is made out of. If you're familiar with the term cricket, you might still be able to buy some of these pieces, but I'm sure that they're copies of copies of copies made out of inferior materials. So again, if you were buying this, you know, I mean, I realize people like half my age are starting to collect stuff like this. So if you're buying it for that purpose, we could talk about how to make this look better. But if you're just buying it for a commuter, good chance you probably don't care. Looking again underneath, just absolutely marvelous. I can't seem to find you the brake lines. Maybe they're, well, actually they're covered in this car, but there's the pinch welds. Just incredible. And it gets even better inside. So this car was absolutely not smoked in. I don't even believe it to have been eaten in. It's just remarkably clean. Even the floor mats, if you're a car enthusiast, you'd be very impressed by those floor mats. Of course, they've been shampooed, but usually the driver's side floor mat of an economy car does not come that good, even with, you know, 10 times the time and material investment. It's incredible. And the carpets underneath are perfect as well. This is, by the way, it's a CE, so it's got crank windows and no power locks, no power mirrors. That means they work as long as your fingers do, which is great. Back seat, there's a little stain right here. And what that is, unfortunately, it's a tannin stain. That means that we get it out, it looks perfect, and when it dries, it sucks back up into the fabric. I will absolutely be able to get that the rest of the way out. The car, of course, when it's purchased, it goes back to the shop for an oil change, a full synthetic oil change. We do that with every car. I will take another couple swings at that for you, and hopefully, you know, this obviously only applies to folks that are local, but if it does come back again, it's just a matter of how many times it's extracted and then dries before it goes away permanently. So that was probably a coffee spill, which is very, very common, unfortunately. Again, there's like 3 times that was perfect and then came back when it dried. So no worries, it is removable. So no damage or any drama back here. The headliner, by the way, that we had that professionally reupholstered by a collector car reupholsterer person. It was not cheap, but that was the old one was just shredded from the heat of being a Southern car. One thing we couldn't get fixed, if you look at that strip that goes around the window, is it's peeled, and this one is, it still has some pieces on it, which you could take care of that if you'd like. But it's, you know, again, a Southern car. Rochester cars look great inside and on the outside up top, but they're of course all missing on the bottom and underneath. So you kind of pick your poison unless you bring a car from a place that doesn't snow and doesn't salt, but it's cloudy, like Seattle, Washington, which is just not, believe it or not, is more expensive to bring a car from there than it is from Japan. So passenger seat is perfect. Floor mat is, I mean, I think that would have made somebody happy if they were looking at this car in the year 2001, and it's about to be 2025 in a couple days, so actually tomorrow. Just, again, perfect. It's got the manual and the paperwork inside. Actually, that doesn't go with it. It's got airbags on both sides for what that's worth. Crash safety. It was, you know, decent for 1998, but cars have come a very long way since then. So that would definitely not be your reasoning to purchase this car versus a newer car. Inside the trunk is perfect. It does have its spare tire and its tools. Spare tire, I made sure that's aired up for you. Let's see here. Pop the hood. So reliability on these cars was through the roof. The 1990s Toyotas, especially mass-produced ones like this, were just, they were simple and they were absurdly reliable. Just basic maintenance, and they just go and go and go and go. Absolutely wonderful cars. And to find one again that's not rusty with this miles is very, very rare. So that's a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder. It's got the cast, or the I think extruded aluminum intake manifold. Just, you know, nothing to go wrong. Very, very simple car. Cable driven throttle. That cable there tells the transmission what to do. Just a very simple car. And there's your battery, by the way, from June of 2022. This car this car was that old when they spent probably 3 times what they had to on a battery at the Toyota dealership. Again, right down to the windshield wiper blades. Remarkable. You could get them for $6 at Walmart, and these people spent like $40 at Toyota. Just incredible. Underneath, again, no rust, no leaks, no drama. Just a wonderful car. Now, where this car really shines, in my opinion, both professionally but as an enthusiast, like I said, we absolutely love 90s Toyotas and import them constantly from Japan. We have a couple on the ocean right now. These cars, and this is kind of a shame, but this drives the smoothness and just the peace in the way that it runs. Just everything is smooth. You're not overly aware of the mechanicals. It's got a very simple 4-speed automatic transmission. It's not constantly hunting for gears and doing everything it can at the cost of comfort to save a mile per gallon. It's just a smooth, simple car, and it has, like if I do this and I'm not a big guy, it's just got very soft suspension. And, you know, you could spend $100,000 on a Lexus LS, and obviously it's going to be nicer in every single way possible than this Corolla, but it doesn't have that. There's just something about 1990s and back cars, that smooth, soft ride. You can smush this car down with your hand and move it up and down in a parking lot, and just that softness of the springs just makes for a peaceful, lovely car to drive. As you hear, it's quiet, it's smooth. What we're going to do is we're going to get up to highway speeds, which isn't a big task. I mean, for what it is, it's like a 2,400-pound car. It's got more than enough power. As you see here, I'm not, revving it or beating on it or anything like that. We're already going almost 55. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to take my hand, it's a really windy day, take my hand off the wheel and get on the brake. Oh, there we go, on the brakes. No shakes, no shimmies, no pulls, no drama. Just an absolutely perfect example, or as perfect as, could be. I think perfect is probably the wrong word for a car this old, but the absolute finest example possible of a Corolla this old. Now, finding any car that's been driven in the United States, it's just not easy to find one-owner cars like this. Obviously, Corvettes, Porsches, things that are collected. But even expensive cars, Lexus LS, I mean, they were like $60,000 in 1998. You don't even find those in this condition. So to find an economy car, it's somebody that bought one of the less expensive cars on the lot, brand new, and managed to keep it this nice with genuine Toyota service all this time. It's really special. So that said, if you want to buy this car, you can. You do it through the website www.pellacars.com, where you will also find pricing and, of course, availability. You could just call me directly. My name is Drew for the Pella Cars family, 585-771-0111. We can ship this car to you all over the globe. Again, we're in global logistics already. Very easy to ship in the lower 48 states and way more cost effective than a plane ride and driving it home. But you can do that as well. We'd love to have you test drive it. As you've seen in this video, we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but not far from Rochester, about 20 minutes from the city of Rochester, about 45 minutes from the city of Buffalo, 50 minutes, and it's a nice, quiet, peaceful test drive. I'm just going to throw it out there. If you love this car, if you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, and you'll see more cars like this, because that's our passion. I mean, obviously, we've got a bunch of 5 to 10-year-old regular cars, but 90s treasures and even older cars, as well as imported Japanese cars, is the family's passion. So if you want to see more, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and I promise you will see some cool stuff. In the summer months, we're even going to start bringing in some 60s